Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. And Micah Carter here, and appreciate you tuning into this channel and coming back and revisiting. Anyway, I'm just going through a couple of little triad chords here, just playing around with, I think the key of G. But really, the reason why I invite you to this video is just to hear, learn about some basic finger exercises you can pick up in the beginning, just starting out as a new guitarist or learning the guitar as a beginner. But even more intermediate guitarists really probably could benefit from going back to some of the basics, right? So in this video, it's just about a few of the most basic finger exercises to help you build, clarity, right? Dexterity, and even some speed, right? We want to build up some speed on the guitar where you can play kind of faster, but we don't really want to do that till we can play accurate, right? So, and where did I put my pick? I forgot where I put it. Oh, here it is. So, in this finger exercise here is just one of the most basic finger exercises that anybody can just pick up the guitar and start doing, right? You don't have to know any notes per se or any chords. And as simple as it is, as basic as it is, it's one of the most critical to building up general note per note speed, in my opinion. So we're going to take the guitar and we're just going to start out right here, like on the first fret. And you can start out from any fret. Like you might find that down here in the first frets, they're wider frets. You might find them a little bit more harder to do if you're a beginning guitarist, especially. You might want to start like on the 8th fret or something like that. But bottom line, we're going to take the first finger and just play our first note. I'm going to play it down here. And the first note, it's an F note, as long as we're tuned to what we call the standard tuning for a guitar. This is a E string, so this first note is an F note. But it's really irrelevant to what we're doing here. What we're really trying to do is just build up some finger clarity, strength, and speed by doing some of these few key exercises, right? So this one exercise is just starting out on this first fret, 1. And I'm using a pick here, right? Now, you can do it without a pick if you don't have a pick, that's fine. I mean, that's one thing to start out, learn how to pick with your thumb and even your fingers in general. And, in that case, you'd just be plucking basically down most of the time with your thumb. And then maybe if you're playing any additional notes to like play a chord, you might be adding your other fingers. But for the most part, if you're just playing single notes, you'll probably just be using your thumb, right? So I recommend using the pick, right? Now, there's certain factors to picking. When we're picking single notes, we want to pluck down and up, down and up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, right? And even just as one exercise right here, doing it at a certain timing. Use a metronome if you have one, right? Set it to a certain tempo, a metronome, and it has the timing. It's, it's perfect timing, so you can just put it on a certain tempo and just follow along with it, with the beats. If you don't have a tempo, just do your best to practice with the timing and try to keep the timing even and smooth, right? And start out slow at first, right? So maybe you're just using this to learn how to do some picking good and get more clear with your picking, right? So do it slow at first. Just go down, up, down, up, down, up. Might feel awkward at first if you're like a new guitar player and you're barely picking up the guitar like the first time. Might feel awkward doing any particular picking style or anything, right? So, but right now you're just trying to go down, up, or if you're using your thumb, just right. That's you're kind of just getting more clarity with your thumb picking. You can play a note like on a fret if you want. Fret your notes clear, kind of closer to the metal side of the fret on this, like you're just up close to this fret. I'm not like over here as much. If you're pressing down good enough, it's not going to make a real big difference. But you're going a little closer to this fret over here, so I can make sure I'm pushing that fret down clearly and I'm getting a good clear note. Right? So, but like you said, just practicing doing this at a certain tempo and then practice doing double time and even triple time. So going same time. And then when you you feel ready, try to do it like a little faster or double time, like. Or triple time, like. But do it slow at first. Get good picking at first. Practice doing it a few times. Keep coming back to it. Maybe you're holding your fingers here against the guitar to get a certain firm base, like a tripod, if you will, and picking like that. Maybe you're using your wrist here kind of on the bridge or next to the bridge or just up here and picking using the pivoting at the wrist. Like that, right? Try some of both. But don't do it fast until you get it going slow, right? You can get, this is like an electric, this is an acoustic. Might be a little tougher at first to play like fast and so forth, but don't do it too fast at first. Like I said, work up from going slow and clear and getting a good sense of timing, right? Or let's try those two picking styles. With your finger held down here, so, or over here. So you get the idea, right? But like I said, don't worry about trying to go too fast at first. So maybe try doing some fretting, right? Moving up these. So we're picking. You're learning how to pick down, up strokes, going up and down the strings. You get some more natural doing it a few times, practicing, and then you're also doing some fretting. So we're using this fretting hand to, like I said, play this first note right here, right? And do some down, up strokes, going one fret up at a time. Just playing 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? This is how you build the beginning of your dexterity and speed to be able to play faster riffs, more accurate, right? So going 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. So try to get good clear notes, accuracy when you're doing it. Do it a few times, keep practicing it. Right? Start out slow. So, and then you get the idea, right? And it'll get a little tiring doing it like on that low E string, for example, or even just on an acoustic in general. But you do want to build up that finger strength. Like I said, don't do too much at a time to where you start like straining your wrist and it hurts or something. Like take breaks, come back to it. Let your strength of your muscles and your wrist and your hand build back up between sessions, right? And when you come back to it, you'll feel like, oh, the timing's more natural. Oh, okay, that's easy. Right, now we're going to try, like I said, doing the same exact exercise, but moving down to the next string and doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then going back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, I should say. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way back up. Right, maybe it's a little bit much to do it down here on these lower frets. Especially if you're first starting, you're building up finger strength and how to move your fingers better. So don't feel bad if you're doing it down here on the 8th fret, or you can try it further down. It might be a little smaller than necessary in my opinion, but somewhere 8th fret, 10th fret, that's fine. Just start at the first finger of whichever fret you're starting on. And like I said, maybe work down to where you can do it down here too. This is where you really want to be able to do it good, because this is the harder area to play, the wire frets, right? So, but let me say I'm doing it right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1, 4. 3, 2, 1, 4. 3, 2, 1, 4. 3, 2, 1, 4. 3, 2, 1. Alternating between down and up picking plucks, right? Strokes on the picking. So, and just going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, all the way down, and then back up, and then going to the next fret and doing it from there. So start out slow again, ideally, right? I'm just going fast here to show you the pattern. Once again, it's just the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, real simple, right? So do this multiple times, per day, right? You learn scales and certain patterns and all of that stuff to really be able to play to songs and everything more. But like right now, you're just barely building it. All that stuff will come easier because you'll be just right now. You'll be doing the simple thing. You don't have to learn a lot right away to get this finger exercises in, right? And then maybe you'll start learning the scale. But even if you know the scales and the keys, you might want to go back and just do this real simple, basic exercise to get your clarity back, or just bring yourself back to a base point, right? Also, humming to the notes, right? It's underestimated in terms of learning songs by ear and matching tones, right? And let's say I play this F note. If I try to hum to it and match it, try to sustain it for a period of time. And I'll build an internal sense of that note, right? And it'll just help me to recognize notes and match tones by ear better, right? Because I'll be able to internalize them better. So try to internalize a note when do practice doing those sessions in the mix too, right? Well, I can play any note. This right here is a B flat note. So at first you might be trying it, maybe you're totally off, and so just keep doing it, right? Try to get your especially if you're really, this is a big area you can improve. If you're not a good singer and you don't know how to match notes well, this is a way to really learn how to match notes. And one day, maybe take it to a few times doing, all of a sudden one time it clicks. Oh, okay, I see. Try to do each note longer. Maybe you don't have to do every note at a time. Just try to internalize a D note, right? And maybe I can play it even an octave lower in my voice, which means I have to go all the way down. So I internalize and match notes with my voice and the humming, so I get more of an internal sense of the register I'm playing at on the guitar, and the notes, individual notes I'm playing, and so forth. So, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a real basic exercise, obviously, right? But don't underestimate it. Now, you can also do variations of this exercise, right? So, this is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you want to practice doing 1, 2, 4, 3, right? 1, 2, 4, 3, and be able to go down the string smoothly. And maybe it's pretty easy for you at first. Maybe it's not even that much. Maybe you're already playing a bit, and that's not even a big deal. But just try it. Do it a few times. Something, go back to the basics. Maybe something you never actually even did, right? Right? Maybe go back up. Right? And 1, 4, 2, 3. or 4, 1, 3, 2. Do them a good few times each. Just do one for the day, maybe, and then do a different one the next day, or something along that lines, right? So you're getting these different abilities to move your fingers in different ways quickly, so that you start playing certain riffs, and you already kind of had the feel for being able to do that weird or awkward or riff you've never played before, right? So you're kind of learning how to do some particular finger, positioning that you never did before, right? And there's another thing too, like there's like, you see I did a slide. That's something you can practice too. Pretty simple. You can slide up to different notes. Practice sliding up from maybe like a 3rd fret to a 12th fret, and just practice doing that accurately. Just practicing that right there. Whoops. Takes practice. Right? Or to the 10th fret. 3rd to 10th fret. Practice doing a lot of these, for example. It'll add something to your playing. All of a sudden you'll be doing some kind of weird riff. You'll be like, oh wow, that's because I started practicing doing this. Right? So, or something. Right? So, practice, sliding. Stopping at a certain note, right? Or do this on each string. Try to maintain clarity, right? That's a little thing you can do to kind of just get more, hone in your abilities on the fretboard, right? And be able to like move with prowess from a low position to a higher position all the way up here and be accurate, right? If I start playing the scale or whatever down here, and then I want to be able to kind of do it quickly. I want to practice moving back up and forth between two positions in the fretboard a bit if I'm gradually getting better. So those are things to kind of stretch your playing too, right? So, and like I said, these variations down here. Think of, a couple of other ones, 4, 2, 3, 1. Right? Practice doing that a few times. Practice doing it slow at first. Right? So that's one thing. Now, like I said, also trills and hammer-ons. Right? There's another thing to help build up your finger dexterity. You don't have to know any particular note. You can just go to a note. Like this is an A note, in this case, 5th fret of the E string. It's an A note. That's what it is. We're going to just hold down that note and hammer on. We can hammer on 1 fret away, which is what we call a half step. Or we can hammer on 2 frets away, which is a whole step. Or we can hammer on a fret and a half away, 3 frets away, which we call a step and a half, right? Is a 1 step and a half. So we can just do like the 1st fret right here and take this finger and hold it down, or you can do it open as well and play the note, hammer on, right? And push it all the way down to where it's still buzzing, and then let it go. That's one part of it, right? But to even extend it and keep sustaining it, you can kind of pull down and claw at the note as you're pressing it down. So, right? And I can do that, like say, if I'm playing this note right here with this 1st finger, use the 2nd finger to hammer on. Maybe really try doing it at different paces to develop your skills, right? And maybe you can do it fast, but you can't do it slow that well. It's kind of like I could feel like maybe if I can kind of, but if I do it slower, it takes me a little bit more focus, possibly, right? And maybe I could do the fret away, 2 frets away here with this 3rd finger. Do the same thing. Try to claw down with the finger, pressing down good, but also clawing down a little bit to keep it going. Or pluck it every few times. Same thing with the pinky, which can be a bit harder because your pinky, your weakest finger there, but just try to do it. In this case, it's 3 frets away. Or, I'm sorry, 4 frets, right? So you can do it on any fret, whatever. I'm just saying in terms of keeping your fingers where, like, in a position of frets, 1 finger is going to go for each fret generally, and this one could stretch 1 fret back or even more, potentially this one 1 fret that way. But generally speaking, the finger's going to play just fret. Like if I'm playing this 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, that's the idea, is you're keeping all the fingers in just this 4 fret box, right? Or this 4 fret box, or this 4 fret box, whatever area you're at. The main point is being able to do the finger exercise, right? So, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get faster at it. You can do some hammer on, right? Kind of pull offs as well. That can be a little trickier. Kind of try to pull down a little bit as you pull them off. You get a little bit more, right? It's not great, but or you can just straight pull them off. If you're on an electric, you'll be able to hear them sustain each note more, right? But on the acoustic, it's a little bit more like you want to be pretty good picker, right? On the acoustic, pretty good fretting, because especially with the steel string, right? So I'm doing that. Right? Try to even really practice keeping it like in one cadence, which is not, you're going to feel yourself moving to each string. You're going to sense that, but try to keep it just one. Like I said, if you have a metronome, if you're doing hammer offs, you're going to be doing them probably a little quicker, or pull offs, I should say. But you can do them like that. And kind of, before you know it, you'll be doing them faster and more naturally. At first, it might feel awkward, right? So those are hammer-ons, right? Like just taking one finger at a time as well, like I said, like this. Just kind of using a trill to kind of create a trill. And same thing with the third finger and the pinky. Kind of getting good at it. Getting good control of each finger. Try to really feel the control of that one finger. And like I say, over here with the picking hand, you could be either using the palm to kind of hold that against the guitar, like the bridge of the guitar, so you're kind of pivoting off of that point. And even just practicing the picking, or you can use these fingers here to push against the guitar and create a stability point there as well. But generally speaking, without one of those points of reference, it's going to be hard to pick accurately. So using your palm or your fingers here to balance your hand as you're playing and strumming and plucking notes, right? So, like I said, some real simple exercise. Try doing it on every fret. I'm going a little fast. I need to really slow down and build my clarity again, really. But, you get the idea. Go up to the second one. Do it there. Third one. So, like I said, I'm going a bit fast there to not make it perfect accuracy. But if you do it a few times, you'll get more and more accurate. You feel a little bit better each time. And when you're plucking over here with your hand, getting good fretting, good firm fretting down. Not too hard to where you're wearing out your fingers unnecessarily. Just firm enough to really press down each string. Also, when you want to be prepared for bar chords, use your first finger and just practice playing each note on any fret and try to just pluck them down to where they all sound clear. Pushing down pretty good to get each string against the fret, but not wearing your finger out as much as possible. Try to just do it just enough. Do it on different frets. Just keep practicing this. At first, you might even use your second finger here to give you a little extra. It's not going to be great, but at first you might have a hard time even fretting all the strings, right? So, but get used to where you can do it with just the one finger. Maybe use the second finger at first, and that's one exercise. You can do it with the other fingers too. Probably a good idea to practice those as well, actually, really. maybe build up some finger strength in the pinky to do a bar chord. But anyway, the idea really is to at least get that first finger, especially maybe some of the second finger, get them used to fretting all the strings clearly, right? So that way when you start playing chords and learning bar chords or playing your bar chords that maybe you already do some, then you can get them a little more clear each time because you're focusing on this hand, building up the strength of this finger even. By just, maybe you do like you might feel the need to use that second finger too if you're on an acoustic steel string, like you said at first, especially. So, but like these are just a few exercises. The idea here is to just build up some of the most basic dexterity, right? And after you do this a few times, you start getting better at it. You start feeling like, oh, okay. This other stuff starts coming to you, and when you start learning actual scales, they'll start becoming, more. You'll be able to play through them faster and easier. But at first, you don't have to know. You don't have to learn anything like any actual theory or about the notes just to do these exercises. 1 2 4 3 1 2 4 3 1 2 4 3, right? 4 2 3 1. And let me know if you try some of these exercises here. And maybe leave a comment if you have some other exercises you think are really vital for what you do and help you a lot, by all means. There's plenty of other, people out there that are teaching that you can, don't feel like you're locked into a box with just a couple, like, learn from all of them, right? Like, go listen to all the people that are like, maybe some other videos. Look at some of, there's some other great teachers there. And be able to teach you about, like, chord structure and theory. And also watch my other videos for some basic, right to the point tips to help you master the fretboard better, understand your chord structure, match tones, learn how to play by ear better, right? And just overall improve your guitar playing. That's right, the idea. What's the goal to the playing of the guitar? My opinion, don't make it so much about being technical. Get good at your techniques, your exercises, yes, but don't lose sight of your ear and what sounds good, right? Doesn't necessarily take something highly technical to sound good. It's a lot of times just the idea, right? The idea is what matters. Make more with less. Maybe, when you're playing your guitar, try to make something that sounds good out of the least amount of notes. Some are on those times when you want to, shred and whatever, those moments, but don't overdo them, right? Think, what is the goal to playing the guitar? It's to make music. Right? No, I'm wrong. Yeah, there's a technical element to it, but you want to make music that people want to actually listen to. Right? So, anyway, these are just some starting foundational concepts for, basically maybe you get something out of it. Imagine anybody can get something out of anything if they just listen with an open mind, right? I try to learn from everything I listen to. So, but let me know if you do. So, anyway, thanks for listening to these. Let me know if you try some of these exercises. They help you improve these very simple exercises and some variations of them. Let me know if they help you improve and come back to the channel for more. And of course, I welcome you to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for listening in. Until next time.